वायुद्वयस्य सङ्घट्टाद् अन्तर्वा बहिरन्ततः योगी समत्वविज्ञान समुद्गमनभाजनम्. The word samgattha in this verse is very significant. It means union of two breaths, the inhalation and exhalation. They are different in their application. They are different in their expression. They are different in their function. In the previous technique, you traveled from Shiva to Shakti, that is from your inner core to the external void. Through your prana, you connected them both. You also existed along with Shiva and Shakti. You were the third factor present beside Shiva and Shakti, but this time it is a more intense technique where perhaps you will get dissolved in the union of Shiva and Shakti. You will be absorbed totally. Take initially a long breath. Your mind also goes into you along with the breath. It will get so much absorbed into the Shiva sthiti, the state of Shiva. Slowly breathe out. And as you are breathing out fully, the mind which had been absorbed into the state of Shiva now comes out with the fragrance of Shiva. And as you are breathing out fully, end of the breath is where Shakti is present. With the fragrance of Shiva, now you would go and touch Shakti. Remain in it for a while and breathe in again. And from longer breaths, slowly make it shorter ones. As it gets shorter and shorter, the two extreme points of Shiva state and the Shakti state. The state of Shiva consciousness that is within you and the state of Shakti consciousness that is without you. They slowly start to move towards each other. They both will have to meet in that sacred union of these two extreme, apparently different from each other points. You will be dissolved slowly in the sacred union of this Shakti and Shiva. You will find yourself totally absent in the love play of Shiva and Shakti. The creativity starts to explode through you. You become just a medium, a vehicle, an expression of Shiva and Shakti. This is the Tandav of Shiva. You are not just an ordinary human being anymore. When the two ends of breath slowly come closer and unite with each other, the celebration starts. In the moments of the oneness of these 2 points of your breath coming together, merging and dissolving into each other, the celebration has already started. It's a celebration of silence. It's a glorification of existence where you are totally expanded to the whole expansion of this universe. You have now expanded so much where Shiva and Shakti alone has found an expression. You have lost your individual expressions totally. क्वचित् वस्तुनि विन्यस्य drishtim nivartaye tajnanam chittasahitam devi shunyalayo bhavet. You have already tasted the nectar of silence. You have had glimpses already of Shiva and Shakti. Through many of the earlier techniques, you have almost reached and experienced Shiva. But your mind needs to be quietened fully. It is capable of playing different tricks upon you. At this moment, it can bring different visuals and images which are perhaps not connected directly. It can prove to be a source of disturbance to you. And whenever such disturbances happen to you, try this tantric technique. It's a very, very effective technique, very popular among the tantrics. Keep your eyes gently closed, and within your closed eyes, create a certain visual. Because the mind has the ability, it is capable of creating visuals. And if you create a visual, it is of your choice. And when a visual is created by your own choice, that visual perhaps loses its capability to disturb you. So create, for example, a full moon in an empty sky. Within your closed eyes, you have created an empty sky and a full moon in the middle. The moon and the sky are created by your mind, where you are sitting on the chair or on the floor with your legs crossed. But then, as you are seeing the empty sky and the emptiness of the sky, the moon in the middle also is shining. Watch the moon, observe it, and then suddenly, because you could create the moon, you could also remove the moon. Shanai drishtihi nivartayet. That you can very easily remove what you have created. The moon and the empty sky both were created by your own mind. And the mind which could create a moon could also remove it. And in the removal of the moon, suddenly you start to see only the empty sky. The absence of the moon and the presence of the empty sky brings about a sudden transformation to your mind. The mind which has been entertaining different visuals, different images, now settles down quietly, and then remove the empty sky also, because that was also created by you. The absence of moon and the absence of the empty sky, whatever is present there, that vacuum, that void, that emptiness, that shunyatvam is Shiva. Hold on to it. Remain with it. Whenever the mind slips, bring that shunyatvam back. And that gives you tremendous strength, a tremendous support on the seat of meditation. Gatadibhajane drishtim bittistyakva vinikshipet tallayam takchanat gatva tallayat tanmayo bhavet. The Tantra Shastra comes out with endless number of techniques just to help you to be meditative, to live a life of effortlessness. These techniques are always very simple and practical. And in this particular technique, you will pick up a jar which is empty inside. Hold the jar in both your hands where you are sitting. Place it on the table in front of you. Feel it by both your hands. Focus your attention on the walls of the jar. Just be with it, and then suddenly shift your attention to the vacuum inside the jar from the walls of the jar. Simply look at the space inside and outside the jar. Use the same technique while you are even sitting in the drawing room watching different objects present in front of you. Apply the same technique even when you are in conversation with somebody. As you are observing the person, you also observe the space that is surrounding the person. Watch everything that is around you. Be aware of them. Similarly, watch all the space available just outside the objects. Be aware of the space as much as the objects. In that awareness, you will transcend Shakti and reach Shiva. Reaching Shiva is to reach the ultimate accomplishment of life. Be in it, revel in it, and delight yourself in it. With that, you have found an accomplishment of having had this human birth. मध्यजिह्वे स्पारितास्ये मध्ये निक्षिप्य चेतनाम् उच्चारं मनसा कुर्वः ततः शान्ते प्रलीयते. Traditionally, this is very popular technique among the tantrics. Even today, in the valleys of the Himalayas, you will witness this particular tantric technique practiced among many seekers. It is quite similar to the Kechari Mudra, but a little more precise in its application. All you have to do is to sit down comfortably. Keep your back gently erect. Keep your eyes closed gently, and keep your mouth open wide as possible. Take the tip of your tongue to the upper palate. Stick in the cavity found in the end of your upper palate. With your mouth still open wide, the tip of your tongue touching the cavity of your upper palate. Your mind suddenly reaches to the point where the tip of your tongue is meeting the palate. The touching of the tip of your tongue brings single pointedness to your mind and removes various agitations and disturbances from your mind. With the same position, take a deep breath. Hold it just for a while, and then exhale gently with the sound ha. The sound ha, heard only inside you. The sound ha, vibrates within inside, just deep inside you. And just within few seconds, you will settle down in such a tranquil manner in and around you, with the tip of the tongue touching the upper palate in the cavity, with your eyes gently closed, your mind focused at the tip of your tongue. Just create the sound. And in the gentle vibrations created deep inside, your mind will give all the different, various possible support to you on the seat of meditation. It will relieve itself of all the different agitations you have to face until that point. Pranavadi samuccharat plutante shunya bhavanat shunyaya paraya shaktya shunyatameti bhairavi. In the field of Tantra, the Pranava mantra takes different tonalities. The Pranava mantra plays a major role. It has a very deep significance for different spiritual practices in Tantra Shastra. It gives different vibrations. The most popular of Pranava mantra used among the Tantrics is Hrim. The chanting of Hrim is always combined with your breath. Sit back. The comfort of your body is essential. You can use a small pillow to sit, to cross your legs conveniently. If otherwise you are finding it difficult to place your body on the floor without any support, keep also the eyes closed. Breathe in and out gently. Get yourself used to your breathing pattern deeply. And when you have to let go your breath, just breathe it out with the sound Hrim. After having taken a deep breath inside, holding it inside, when you have to let the breath go, let it go with the sound Hrim. Both your breath and the sound of mantra should synchronize, and your mind also should get absorbed in that synchronization. Wait for the mantra to get over. Focus at the point where the mantra is over, along with your breath. When the breath and the sound both have gotten over, remain breathless and mantraless, soundless for 4 to 5 seconds. Those few moments of silence, those few moments of breathlessness, those few moments of soundlessness, those few moments of silence, fullness, they are very sacred. Those moments are very auspicious. Let that silence percolate into you, into every cell of your body, into every fiber of your being, into every thought, emotion, feeling that crosses your mind. Let it fill into your soul. Let it take over your personality. Let it drown yourself into it. And as you take the breath once again back, reach for the other, remain, and once again chant. Chant as long, as many times as you feel like. Do not count. Chant until you feel it is necessary. After that, what remains is just the silence. यस्य कस्यापि वर्णस्य पूर्वान्तावनुभावयेत् शून्यया शून्यभूतोऽसौ शून्याकारपुमान् भवेत्. Having done the Hrim sadhana, having tried the chanting of Hrim technique, you know now that to be a tantric is to accept both Shiva and Shakti. It is to accept both sound and the silence together. Both are essential. You have to be aware of them both. This last technique in this series pushes you lovingly to pay attention not just to the silence after every sound, but also to the silence before every sound, before and after, because the sound rises from silence and goes back into silence. If you can be aware of the silence that is born out of the sound, the silence that you have found after the sound, you can also find the same silence even before the sound was born, because silence has always been present. When you become aware of both before and after, your sense of alertness and awareness has already reached newer heights. The shunyam is the essence. To taste the essence is to dwell in the divine, to express as divine. Your life now will have the divine fragrance, having undergone the transformation, surrounding every thought, every word, every action of yours. You will become a divine expression, the divine expression of Shiva himself. You will become, really speaking, Shiva himself.